in this third quarter, so it was not the best of kickoffs from Debana. So the Wildcats come out first and 10 as Mark Stanton, 6'3", 180-pound senior, towering over some of his offensive linemen, comes up with an I formation, two receivers wide right. And he hands it off to his tailback, hit at the line, gaining a yard. That's about all. Quincy in quickly. Paul Collery making the stop as the ball carrier, Steve Carasy. He busted one in the closing moment of the second quarter for 20 yards. But Carasy has been injured this year. Joe Donovan has been injured. So those the two starting running backs for Weymouth. And that has been something that Stanton has had to endure, not having his starting backfield too much this year.
Takes a lot away from your game.
I formation, 2nd and 9, ball 41, their own 41-yard line. Stanton drops back, looking to throw, looking right, has his man. Complete, penalty flag is down. First down, Weymouth, and dragged down at the Quincy 45-yard line. But we do have a penalty flag as the ball was caught by Fernandez. A little slow to get up, limping just a little bit, but I think it's going to go for naught. It's going to come back on a holding call against Weymouth, and that will wipe out a good pass play to Fernandez and what would have been a first down play.
Well, you know, the last two plays I've been trying to concentrate a little bit on the line play in there, and there's some real tough line play on both of these teams. Quincy and Weymouth, of course, they're pretty good size. I think Quincy has a little advantage in height and weight in there, and you know, I think they're kind of taken over up in front. They get the better advantage of it right now, and they're playing better football. But you know, we're just beginning this half.
2nd and 19, two receivers and a wing right, just one man in the backfield. Stanton drops straight back, now rolls to the right. Bean Chase sets up, throws it out, heaves it, has a couple of receivers, and it is nearly intercepted as Noel Debana had his hands on it, but it was knocked away, and I believe it might have been Ellie Pierce who knocked it out of Debana's hands, and otherwise that would have been an interception. And it will be 3rd down and long now, as I'm just watching the replay as went up, and it was Pierce that knocked it out of Debana's hands. So good defensive play for Pierce for Weymouth, or that would have been a Quincy ball.
Yeah, I tell you though, Stanton threw that ball up. He did, you know. I just think he threw it in a general direction. I don't think he threw it at anybody in particular, and it was just kind of a high looping pass.
3rd and 19. Looks like he may be setting up a screen. Complete to Donovan. Donovan 30, 35, and is cut down at the 35-yard line. And what a tackle by Mike Bartlett. Playing in the secondary, just came in and took Donovan's legs out from under him at the 36-yard line, and it will be 4th down and 5, and Weymouth will be forced to punt it away. Good open field tackle by Bartlett.
You can say that again. That was a wonderful tackle, and Donovan's no slouch out there. He's over 200 pounds, and he had a pretty good head of steam. So young Bartlett plays offense and he plays defense pretty darn good too.
He was the only man there, and that would have been a first down if he hadn't have gotten.
Beautiful tackle.
Stanton stands at his own 24-yard line, gets a high snap but fields it, kicks it away. Debana is calling for a fair catch back at the 25, and he falls down to the 24 with it. So Quincy will start at their own 24 and 8:01 to go third quarter. It's 21-7, Quincy leading Weymouth, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. First down to reverse to Robbie Kane, and he gets up to the 35-yard line, and a penalty flag is thrown out of bounds as Kane was dragged out of bounds, and I think we're going to have a personal foul against Joe Donovan of Weymouth. for taking Kane out of bounds a little too hard. As the reverse, they tried it, Weymouth tried it earlier, and this time Quincy tries it, and it is a personal foul. So 15 yards to be tacked on to the run as Debona handed it to Kane, who swept to the left. And we're just watching the replay, and the flag thrown out of bounds.
Well, two of the Quincy ball players put a great block on the offside Weymouth end and just pinned him down and made that reverse go. So there was some great blocking on that reverse.
Ball at the 50-yard line. Debona with a hole, cutting to the right. 45. Still on his feet and down at the 43-yard line. Taken down by Manny Fernandez, but not before picking up 7, maybe 8 yards as Noel Debona got the hole and slashed to the right. And it's going to be 2nd down and 2 as Coach Joe Kelly, not a very happy man right now after giving up that play and then the 15-yard penalty. And Quincy is on a roll, and he's looking for the Weymouth defense to stop them. Bartlett hands off to Bogan, straight ahead, first down and more, down to the 35-yard line. He needed 1, he came up with 6, maybe 7. Joe Donovan making the stop for the Weymouth Wildcats.
Well, I'll tell you what happened to that play. Weymouth set their 2 linebackers. They had 5 up and sent 2 linebackers. And the linebacker on the right side just went off the guard, and Bogan went inside, and a quick handoff, and they went right by the whole line, went right into the secondary real quick. That's a good play.
First down, Debona gets the handoff, and he only gets a yard as Adam Good hit him at the line, took him down. It'll be 2nd down for the Presidents. The ball at the Weymouth 34-yard line, 6:25 to go, 3rd quarter. It is 21-7, Quincy with the lead.
You know, Charlie, I'm quite impressed with this Bartlett. He plays good defense, as we just said, and he's running this team real well for a junior. He's only taken over the last 3-4 ball games, and he's really handling himself like a real pro out here now.
And he fakes to Bogan, pitches to Debona. Debona breaks 1 tackle and is taken down at the 32-yard line as he faked in the line, and then on the option pitch down the field to Debona, but Weymouth defensed it very well. Donovan out in the right flat to take him down, and it will be 3rd down and 8 for Quincy.
They might not have made much yardage on that play. However, he ran that play excellently. He faked the man inside, went down the line, and gave a beautiful pitch to the man coming around behind him. So he executed that play real well, and that's not an easy play to execute unless you're doing it all the time.
3rd down and 8. They flood 3 receivers to the right side, and we get whistles as Bartlett came back. The ball wasn't there, so I think Quincy's going to be guilty of procedure as Bartlett and his center didn't have... No, it's offside against Weymouth.
I think they made contact first. They came across, then he jumped back, but I think he made contact.
As we're watching the replay, and yep, and it was the nose man for Weymouth that jumped in and made contact. You were right, Tom. And now instead of 3rd and 7, it's 3rd and 2 for Quincy with the ball at the Weymouth 25-yard line. Now the receivers move in tight. They hand it to Debona, and he gets down to about the 23-yard line. He should have the first down. He needed to get to the 25. Donovan making the stop for Weymouth, and it is a first down for Quincy.
Nice drive, nice line drive, nice leg drive on the ball carrier's part. Weymouth had 8-9 men up on that line that time, all coming across, but they picked up that quick short yard.
Quincy comes out, first down, 4:40 to go, clock moving, 3rd quarter. Quincy lead 21-7. Bartlett rolls out, play action fake, throws it out, and it is incomplete. Looking for Brian Clifford out in the right flat at the 10-yard line, and maybe a little miscommunication. Clifford coming back, kind of hands out, saying what happened there.
Well, it was the right play. It was the right call. He was in the right position. He was out here in the flat. He wasn't covered. And I was just going to say when the play started, Weymouth had the whole team rolled up, only 2 deep, and they're too deep. Remember, only 7 or 8 yards deep. So it was a good call, but the Bartlett just overthrew the ball a little bit high to his receiver out of the flat.
2nd and 10. Man in motion, give to Bogan. Bogan breaking a couple of tackles, gets down to the 20-yard line, gaining 4 yards. Bogan got that all on his own as
yeah, that was a sprint draw. It was kind of a draw play, and you know, they're hard to run if you don't get those people going the right way, and that's what happened. He just got hit as he got to the line of scrimmage. But Quincy, I'm very happy the way Quincy is mixing their plays up here. They're running the end. They're throwing a pass on the flat. They're running quick openers through the middle. So they've really made a nice little drive. And of course, these 2 penalties have helped them, but they've helped themselves on some well-selected plays here. And Weymouth has really got to dig in now. There's an injured player. Is that a Quincy player?
Quincy player down in the field. So we do have timeout with 4:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. It is 21-7. Quincy with the lead, and we'll take a 30-second timeout and then be back with more football. Out on the field as Quincy player is shaken up, and he is being attended to down on the field, and the officials have sent both teams off the field, so we may have a delay for a while. Mike Tucker just went out there, so Mike, why don't you take it away and bring us up to date on the situation. Nope, can't hear you, Mike. No, we don't hear you, Mike. Let's see. Oh, there's something. You there, Mike? No. All right. Maybe we got a bad battery down there. We'll see if we can get to Mike Tucker in a while, but we do have time out as the injured player is being attended to, and it's certainly going to be a little while here. The EMTs have gone out, and I think this youngster is going to get a ride in an ambulance up to Quincy Hospital to be checked out, as the Quincy people are down on the field, the Weymouth people over there as well. And so we'll see what happens. I think I can hear Mike down there. Mike, if you can hear me, take it away.
Yeah, it's Mark Nutley, the center. Can you hear me now? And they think it's a neck injury. That's why they want to take him off to the hospital. They don't want to move him right now.
Okay, so thank you, Mike, and if you'll keep us posted on the situation down there as Mark Nutley is being attended to, and they are keeping him very, very still, which is something that certainly it looks scary, but it is something that they do merely as a precaution. They're bringing out the backboard right now. The EMTs are bringing it out, and it's not necessarily that the player is motionless. It's that the people out there are telling the player, don't move.
That's right. Don't move. We get the board underneath you. We get you strapped down. We get you in the hospital, and we get some x-rays. 99% of the time it's not serious, but this is all precautionary measures, and these people know what they're doing and having the best of care out there. So I'm sure that it's not as serious as you say it looks, Charlie. Sometimes it looks, you know, with the straps around them and all that, but this is all precautionary, and this goes on quite a bit, and I'm sure he'll be all right.
So we have 4:18 to go in the third quarter. It is 21-7. Quincy with the lead over the Weymouth Wildcats, and Quincy driving with the football, and it'll be 3rd down and 7 when we come back. They're bringing the board and the stretcher out right now, and they will be putting the board under young Mark Nutley, who is a senior, 5'10", 195-pounder. Why don't we take a 60-second timeout here at the stadium, and then we'll be back with more football. I couldn't remember, you know, and you know, I mean. And we're still in a timeout right now as the EMTs are attending to Mark Nutley, and let's go back down to Mike Tucker, who's down in the field. Mike?
Yeah, Charlie, it's more of a precautionary measure that they just want to make sure that he's okay. He's got movement, and he's talking to everybody down there, but they just want to make sure he's okay.
And that is something that is done, and as we said up here, Mike, they're very, very careful when it comes to injuries like that, and as Tom said, generally it's nothing, but they want to be very, very careful in situations like that.
Yeah, just in case if his parents are listening to the radio, they say he's going to be okay. He's just, like I said, precautionary measures.
Okay, thank you much, Mike. Good job down there. And they have got him on the board and got him on the stretcher. So Mark Nutley will be going to Quincy Hospital, and he will be tended to and getting a big round of applause and the sportsmanship as the Quincy people, the EMT and the doctor out there, but the Weymouth coaches out there as well. And beyond the wins and losses and touchdowns and everything, it is a fraternity, and if no matter what side you care about the kids, I guess.
Sure, that's it. The one I noticed the Weymouth captain come over as they were wheeling him off and said something to him, and the whole Weymouth bench stood up and gave him a great round of applause. So you know, they get out here and they play back and forth, but they're all just young men, and they respect each other, and they're not out here to maim or hurt anybody. Just have a good hard football game.
So play back on as Bartlett, play action fake, has his man complete at the 5 and down to about the 1-yard line is Brian Clifford. It'll be 1st and goal for Quincy at the 1-yard line as Clifford caught the ball on pretty much the same play that they called earlier, but Clifford missed that time. They worked it, and Clifford nearly with a touchdown.
Yeah, he made a great move. He caught the ball. It was a little bit behind him. It was a tough ball to pull in, but then he kind of reversed his field, took a step back, and then went up and almost went over the goal line. But that was that play I told you before, Charlie. They were open on the flat. It was a good call, and great for Jack. He came right back to it.
As they give it to Clifford, and he is in for the touchdown.
Oh.
And that's only fair that Clifford, who did all the work on that play, gets the touchdown. And Quincy on the board once again as they stretch the lead. It's 27-7 with 3:24 to go in the third quarter.
Well, that was a great drive by Quincy. They moved that ball right down the field. They usually basically their running play right up until the last play when they put it right down to the 1-yard line, and they didn't make any penalties. Of course, Weymouth made 2 bad penalties which hurt them, but Quincy kept steady, and they just put that ball in from the 1-yard line. They gave it to Clifford.
Kevin Carey holding. Noel DeBona puts it up, and it is good. Order another football, Mr. Walker. It's 3:24 to go, third quarter. Quincy 28 and Weymouth 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Well, they're whooping it up down below us. You can hear the Quincy High School fight song. It is 28-7. Quincy with the lead over the Weymouth Wildcats, but Weymouth not out of this one. They have the firepower, and they can come back.
Charlie, we're now listening to the Quincy fight song, which is quite a unique song. It's not copied from any other school. And I bet you I found this information out last year. Was a Quincy Weymouth coach over there named Bart Weber. And he told me last year that his mother wrote that Quincy fight song when she was a teacher at Quincy back in the 20s. So there's a little bit of nostalgia information there.
I never knew that, and I never saw a piece of sheet music. It's kind of something that they learned by osmosis.
And I thought that was, Bart told me when he said my mother wrote that. She was, I don't know if she was a music teacher, but she wrote that song for Quincy, and it's a beautiful song. It's unique. Most schools copy other college songs and change the words around, but that is a wonderful song, and Bart Weber's mother wrote that song.
And I'm sure Bart over there doesn't want to hear it tonight.
No,
he's heard it a few times. It is first down. Mark Stanton sets up, looking to throw, and incomplete as he threw the ball for Ellie Pierce, and he threw a rocket, and Pierce couldn't hang on to it. Bogan gave Pierce a little chuck, and he was looking for a personal foul call, but it was not called that way. Stanton is just throwing the eyes out of the football, but again, he's putting too much mustard on it.
The receivers can't handle it, especially in a quick look in like that. You got to take a little bit off the ball.
Second down and 10. Two receivers this time to the left. Ball right hash mark. Stanton rolling out of the pocket. He's in trouble. He's got blue jerseys chasing him. Now he tries to go the other way, and he just heaves it out, and it is incomplete, nearly intercepted. Intended for Fernandez up at the 50-yard line, and Robbie Kane stepped in front of Fernandez and nearly picked that pass off as Stanton just threw that one away.
He's a desperation pass. He never should have thrown that football. I mean, he was being tackled, and he just threw it up for grabs. I'm sure that, he should show a little more poise than that. If you got to eat the football, you got to eat it, and that's what he should have done, gone down with the football. That he was lucky that wasn't intercepted and run back.
Well, to his credit, at least Fernandez was there.
Yeah.
So maybe it was the skill.
Yeah.
Maybe he saw Fernandez.
Who almost come up with the interception, but Kane,
And now Stanton rolling out to the right, looking, has his man complete at the 50 and out of bounds.
Great catch out there.
It'll be a first down for the Weymouth Wildcats as Fernandez with the catch, Kane with the tackle, and it is a first down, a gain of about 14 yards, and Weymouth into Quincy territory to the 48-yard line.
Well,
first down.
If you noticed out there, Stanton's much better running that that sprint pass to his right. He just, of course, he's right-handed, it's easier, but he's not too good running it to the left and throwing that way. Here he comes now.
First down. As he throws it, has his man Donovan complete to the 40, down to the 35, to the 33-yard line. It'll be another first down. Dave Bogan making the stop for Quincy.
What happens is the wideouts are taking the deep end away, the safeties away, and they're throwing to the backs. Donovan coming out of the backfield underneath. So you know, the linebackers for Quincy have got to move back a little bit and pick up Donovan and anybody else that comes out of that backfield. They're just not doing it.
Pierce
it's a tough job.
And Fernandez to the right, ball left hash mark, line of scrimmage, 33-yard line. The Weymouth Wildcats are on fire right now as Stanton drops straight back, looking right, looking, can't find anybody, and is sacked at the 34-yard line, losing a couple of yards as the protection finally broke down. He couldn't find anybody to throw it to, and Quincy came in. The sack made by Mike Feely of the Presidents.
It just broke down. He had a lot of time, but they just couldn't find anybody open. Stanton was down there covering Fernandez way down by the flag in the far corner. They were playing games with each other down there, but he wasn't open, and there were two other receivers on the right side also that were covered well. And he did the right thing then. He ate the football.
Twins again to the right. It is 2nd down and 11. Stanton back, got a man in his face. Screen pass incomplete, intended for Donovan. Bogan was on there on the coverage, and I think Donovan looked upfield before he had control of the ball because he was open. The ball was there, a nice soft ball, and he dropped it.
Bogan was right on his tail, though. Even if he caught it, I don't think he would have gone far because Bogan was right on his back.
It'll be 3rd down and 11 with 1:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's 28-7. Quincy with the lead. So Weymouth trying to get 3 touchdowns back here in a hurry. Pierce and Fernandez. Pierce the wide man. Fernandez next to him. There to the right, Stanton drops straight back, sets up, looking, has his man complete, spinning around up close to a 1st down at the 22-yard line. And it was Fernandez that caught the ball, and on 2nd effort, the spinning got him close to the 1st down, and they're going to bring the sticks in for a measurement.
Well, Fernandez, if he does get a hold of that football, he's like a worm to bring down. He can spin and wiggle around, and he can pick up that extra yardage, and I guess he did pick up the first down.
He got the 1st down.
So now we're seeing a little bit of this combination we haven't seen so far in this game. So might get a little more interesting as far as Weymouth is concerned out here. They haven't put it together. Maybe they're going to start coordinating together now.
Well, Weymouth seems like they've gotten a wake-up call here, as all of a sudden, even running up to the huddle, they have some enthusiasm, a little bit more than they had. Hand off to Steve Carasy. Carasy inside the 20 down to about the 16-yard line. I believe we've got a penalty flag at the point of the tackle. And we'll see what the call is going to be. Personal foul against Quincy, and that will move the ball inside the 15-yard line, half the distance to the goal. Just what Quincy did not need, but for Weymouth, it is a break, and they will have 1st and goal at the Quincy 7-yard line.
Weymouth hasn't got much breaks this game on penalties. It's kind of all gone Quincy's way. I think Quincy, I'm not sure, has only had maybe 1 or 2 penalties before this, and they usually pick up a half a dozen every half.
As Stanton rolls out, looking left, looking to turn the corner, in trouble, breaks 1 tackle, he's in trouble, he's all the way back at the 20, at the 25, and now he throws toward the end zone, and it is caught at the 1-yard line. An unbelievable catch by Fernandez, I believe.
Yeah.
At the 1-yard line, as Stanton went all over the place. He was in trouble and looked like he was going to be brought down 2 or 3 times. Went out to the right side, threw the ball, and it was caught.
Now, what is this? What are they moving? Oh, this is the quarter.
That's the end of the quarter.
Yeah, he came. Well, he started out, Charlie, to the left, like it was a sprint out left. And then he got trapped. Somebody had a hold of his jersey, almost pulled him down. And then he ran back to the right, picked up 2 or 3ee blocks. And
it was Jim Taylor that caught
82.
the ball.
Yeah,
Yep,
82.
Jim
I
Taylor
could see it from here.
I think Jack Raymer looking at the officials and pleading maybe an ineligible man downfield, a lineman downfield, but it was not called. And that is the end of the 3rd quarter as Weymouth is on the doorstep. 28-7, Quincy with the lead. We'll be back in 60 seconds.